Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakahakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akhwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this article is in the Independent. So this guy right here, he's been on death row for 37 years. And the judge done scheduled his execution by firing squad. But he has dementia, supposedly. Because, Esau, he's a damn con man. He may be perfectly fine. But why would you allow this man to live 37 years after you have all the evidence in the world as to what he done, the crime that he committed? Okay, so it says a Utah judge has set an execution date for a man with dementia who has spent 37 years on death row despite lawyers arguing his worsening condition. Ralph Leroy Menzies, 67, is scheduled for execution on September 5th for the 1986 abduction and murder of Utah mother of three, Maureen Hunsaker. Decades ago, Menzies chose... Decades ago, he chose firing squad as his method, making him only the sixth U.S. prisoner executed by this means since 1977. Decades ago now. So he's basically admitting to what he done. Judge Matthew Bates signed a death warrant a month after ruling Menzies consistently and rationally understands why he faces execution, despite recent cognitive decline. While his lawyers have petitioned for reassessment, Bates said Wednesday the pending appeal was not a basis to prevent him from setting a date. Bates did, however, schedule a July 23rd hearing to evaluate the new competency petition. His attorney said his dementia has gotten so severe that he uses a wheelchair, is dependent on oxygen, and cannot understand his legal case. We remain hopeful that the courts or the clemency board will recognize the profound inhumanity of executing a man who is experiencing steep cognitive decline and significant memory loss. Boy, I tell you, taking the life of someone with terminal illness, who is no longer a threat to anyone, whose mind and identity have been overtaken by dementia, serves neither justice nor human decency. Well, you should have knocked his ass off the year of. You let this man live, and that's the crazy part, because somebody got to pay for these people to be housed, man. They're not just allowing these people to just sit in these prisons, man, and guards got to be paid, fucking food got to be paid for, that it's all it's just all a damn con. He a con man. The damn justice system is a con. Esau's whole hookup is a damn con, man. Anyway, let's grab a couple of scriptures, man. Okay, I want to read this Isaiah 10:1 in the New Living Translation. It says, "What sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws." And that's overall, that's just Esau in general, man. He's not fit for righteousness, not a righteous judgment. Because this guy, supposedly, he kidnapped the lady, tied her to a tree, and slit her throat. But he gets to live 37 years, and then the argument from his lawyer side is that he should continue to just live his life out because he don't remember what happened. Come on, bro. It says, verse 2, "They deprive the poor of justice and deny the rights of the needy among my people. They prey on widows and take advantage of orphans. What will you do when I punish you? When I send disaster upon you from a distant land? To whom will you turn for help? Where will your treasures be safe?" But the point is that, this man, his laws are just unrighteous as hell, man. Let me see. This dude done been up in there living it up. for 40 years. Man, let me read this one in the NLT too. Micah 2:1. What sorrows await you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out simply because you have the power to do so. So, and this is what Esau does, man. He sits and he devises wicked ass plans because there's money at keeping these people alive like that. You know, they figure, you know, if it's a prison, you know, because a lot of these prisons, I went into it the other day, they put these people to work, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And they get that matter of fact, it's just like slavery, free or pennies on a dollar, cheap labor. They be in there making all kinds of shit. You'd be surprised at what prisoners be making, man. They don't just be doing license plates. Motherfuckers be making furniture. They be in there sewing clothes. You know, they be out, you know what I'm saying, doing road work or field work or, you know, some kind of, you know, whatever it is. This man's system is grimy as hell. But this man should have been put to death. Because what does the law say? In Genesis 9:6, whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for the image of God made he man. And it don't take fucking 40 years to put somebody down, man, after they done took somebody's life like that. You done kidnapped a person? Come on, bro. Yeah, you Edomites, man. Y'all got a lot to pay for. And this is, you know, all that thinking that the Lord is going to allow Esau to just carry on. That shit is, you might as well get that shit out of your mind. That is not going to happen. This man, he's got to go. Okay, so it goes on to say the U.S. Attorney General's office has full confidence in the judge's decision. The U.S. Supreme Court has at times spared prisoners with dementia from execution, including an Alabama man in 2019 who had killed a police officer. If a defendant cannot understand why they are being put to death, the High Court said that an execution is not carrying out the retribution that society is seeking. Well, you should have put his ass to death at the beginning. You know? And that would be even better. You know what I'm saying? The Lord take his goddamn mind and then take his life. Judgment on his ass, man. Okay, so this lady's son, who was 10 years old when his mother was killed, it has been hard to swallow that it's taken this long to get justice. Here you go. A 10-year-old is now 50, bro. and this motherfucker been sitting up eating, you know, just playing cards and watching, you know, TV shows and shit. And you know, he just been living it up. It says, you issue the warrant today. You start a process for our family, he told the judge Wednesday. It puts everybody on the clock. We've now introduced another generation of my mom, and we still don't have justice served. See? She was 26, was abducted from a convenience store where she worked. She was later found strangled and her throat cut by about 16 miles away at a picnic area. Menzies had her wallet and several other belongings when he was jailed on unrelated matters. He was convicted of first-degree murder and other crimes in 1988. So he done other shit. And he's still alive, bro. But this is Esau's kingdom. In fact, let me get that Psalm 73. Psalm 73. Let me start at verse 3. It says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. But the point that I wanted to make is they're not in trouble as other men. Had this been a so-called black man had grabbed that lady up and done that, come on, bro. But then again, who knows, man? Because, you know, again, Esau, he wants to get that free work out of those prisoners, man. That's overall what is going into. All that old, and then, you know, that back and forth with these appeals, and they're arguing this and arguing that. No, we got evidence, bro, that you've done this. Here you go, in this day and time, they'll have video evidence, the weapon, his fingerprints, blood splatter, you know, everything that says this guy is guilty as shit, and they'll allow this motherfucker to continue on living, going back and forth to court, back and forth to court, back and forth to court, when you know he's guilty. This is not a righteous kingdom. Let's just put it that way. Okay, it says over nearly 4 decades, attorneys for Menzies filed multiple appeals that delayed his death sentence. See, there you go, which had been scheduled at least twice before it was pushed back. He and other Utah death row inmates sentenced before May 2004 were given a choice between firing squad and lethal injection. For inmates sentenced in the state after that date, lethal injection is the default method unless the drugs are unavailable. This man is done. Utah last executed prisoners by firing squad in 2010. Okay. Anyway, that's the point though. And people in the comment boards, it's back and forth. You know, you got people that's like, well, he don't remember, he shouldn't be executed, that's cruel. But you got some people like, nah, his ass should be still gunned down. You know? Some people are in there, you know, arguing that why the fuck is this shit taking so long? Here you go, you got a grown, the lady's son's 10 years old, he's grown with children. He's grown with children, and this motherfucker still, being wheeled around before he even supposedly went into the wheelchair. Because this guy could be, you know, faking it. Because, you know, Esau, he's a damn con man. He's probably faking the shit out of that, man. But I just wanted to just do something quick. You know, hey, this man's kingdom is unrighteous, man. Unrighteous as hell. Here you go, a police officer, gunned Jake ass down with his hands up. Execute him on the spot. Riddle him with bullets, man. On the spot. We ain't gonna even go back into slavery. Just for just some eye service, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Jake was being swinging in a damn tree. But this is crazy, man. It's an unrighteous kingdom, man. Let me get one more before I get out. I gotta make a move real quick. Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And the wicked are ruling, and people are sick of this place, man. There's nothing that's coming out good in this place. This is fucking insane. The man, just to think that the little boy was 10 years old. Now he's 50, bro. And this motherfucker is still alive that done his mother like that. Crazy, bro. Not surprising. It's not surprising, man. So I'm going to end out there. I pray that this lesson was edifying. With that, Kwame Yasha Allah and the Bible Ball.